Hey, what's happening, guys? Ronin Man here. It's a beautiful morning here in Santa Cruz. Really been nice weather. Summer has just been hanging around. Golden sunset last night, man. Dude, went out to Greyhound Rock. Man, it was like, mist was coming off the water, and I'll put some footage in one of the upcoming videos. Really nice, really nice. Yeah, man, listen, I cannot say this enough. You guys, life is short. Dude, life is short. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Life is short. Dude, if your relationship sucks, if your job sucks, if things are not going your way, if you know that you should not be where you are, so many guys, dude, 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Think about that. There's one way to look at it, is that women break up families and abuse children by taking away one of their, core pillars of support. That's true. That's definitely true. But there's another way to look at it too. How about this? How about this way? I never hear. Is that guys stay in shitty situations and don't have the balls to leave. Think about that. That's happened more than you think. More than you think. And the reason why people hesitate to make videos like this is because it seems like a contradiction. We're the guys who are, basically fighting for things that are fair, things that are good for the kids. And that's true. That's 100% true. But dude, listen, I can't, I don't know, man. Just, do you want to stay in a shitty life? At the end of the day, you have to, they say you have to meet your maker and all that, and you got to face judgment day. But you know what? What they're really talking about there is a truth. They're talking about a truth, which is that life is short. At the end of the day, the judge is you. You look at your life and you're like, man, did I do it? Did I do my life? Did I do my life right? Did I take advantage of the beautiful life that I have? Did I? I mean, look at this. This is a redwood in downtown Santa Cruz. Absolutely gorgeous. Dude. Insane. Insane. Did you take advantage of your life, man? I got itchy feet right now, man. I got itchy feet. Why? Is it because I got itchy feet where I can't stay in one place? That's what society, when you change your mind, when you leave, when you do something new, society will put you down. They fucking will. They will always put you down. You couldn't stick with it. You couldn't do this. Listen, when I was a kid, when I was in, I don't know what grade I was, but it was before I moved to California. So I moved in third grade. So it must have been before that, second grade, first grade, whatever it was. And I went to Boy Scouts. I had to go to Boy Scouts I got signed up for Boy Scouts. And when I got there, we lived in a trailer park. When I got there, it was like in this guy's trailer, right, in neighborhood. And the dude was weird. I didn't know the guy. I'd never met the guy before. And I remember, I was so young, but I remember going to the bathroom. You had to go down these little, like it was a single wide trailer, so you got to go down this hallway. And when I went down the hallway, I went to the bathroom. And when I came out, he was waiting for me. Like the other kids were in the other boys were in the living room and just sitting there or whatever near the TV. And I was like coming down the hallway. And I remember it was real dark in his trailer. And he was, I was young, so I didn't really, you really don't know why people do things. But I remember he was breathing real heavy and he was trying to block me from going back to the other boys. And he was like, he's like, we're going to have a good time this year. We're going to have a good time. And I was like, I didn't know what he wanted, but I knew it wasn't good for me. I knew it. I'm like, this is not good for me. This is not good for me. So I went back home. Yeah, didn't talk about it because, of course, I didn't even know what to say. I didn't know what he wanted. I wasn't sure. All I knew is that I didn't want to go back to Boy Scouts. And so I didn't. So when Boy Scout, time to get ready to go, my mom was like, hey, get ready, time for Boy Scouts. I said, no, I'm not going. I'm quitting. And she's like, what? You only went one day, basically, And I don't remember what she said. I remember my dad coming home, and he was like, he's like, if you quit now, you're going to be a loser. You're a quitter. You can't stick with things. And, there was never any, that's what society does. I don't want to put down this one guy for this one situation, but I got to tell you, this is a common thing, is when you quit something, is that people will say you're a quitter. And a lot of guys are very proud, and a lot of men's groups will tell you, the thing to do is stick with things. Men make a commitment and they stick with stuff. We hold them accountable. And yeah, dude, men should be accountable. And, humans, we make commitments, we keep them. Definitely. This is a core thing. And, how did I learn Chinese? I had to stick with it, right? No doubt about it. But, dude, times have changed, man. It's not all men's fault. It's not, listen, everything's turning against you as a man. Like, seriously. And it depends on your racial ethnicity, but some groups are really getting fucked over right now. And I'll tell you this, you don't owe shit to people, man. You don't. Life is short, man. You owe it to whatever the gods of life or whatever it is. Like, that's what I think of it as, is like the life that you're given, the cells inside your body that are doing what they're supposed to do, pumping things around, keeping things moving, keeping the lights on, and your lights are on, man. And it's like, dude, I was at a meeting the other day. Oh, let me finish. So the Boy Scout thing, that was the thing that I realized, is that nobody cared about the reason why I quit. Now, of course, I couldn't have explained it, and I can't be blamed on everybody else for knowing everything, and everybody makes mistakes, and there's no doubt about all that stuff. But it's still a pretty good fucking story. It's a good story. The reason is because that's the way it goes, man. Is that you have reasons for quitting, okay? And those reasons matter. I didn't quit Boy Scouts. It wasn't because I couldn't stick with it. They weren't doing shit. They were sitting in the fucking living room talking shit, listening to some old man, some old fucking weirdo talk. And that's not sticking with that. What the fuck does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. But I'll tell you what means something, is that you adapt, okay? You need to adapt. That's the key point. You need to adapt. Adapt to life, adapt to the changes, adapt to technology. And that's the key skill I'm talking about here. And what men are not doing is they're just not adapting. They're living in the past. They're living in the fucking past. They're sitting here blaming everything on men. Hey, you didn't stick with it. Dude, I went to a fucking meeting the other day. It was a 12-step meeting, and honestly, there was a dude sitting there talking. I'm just going to say this because it was so common. I've seen it so many times, but it was so embarrassing. The dude was sitting there, and he's fucking talking about his ex-wife, who he admits, and everybody in the meeting knew her. And so they were all like groaning. And he's like, listen to this. Here's what he said. He said, my ex-wife called me, and despite all the things that happened, things don't happen in divorce. One person files a case against you. They isolate you. Essentially legal abduction of children. They undermine the child's mental state. They isolate the child from their 50% of their source of support and love. Their hardwired need to be with their father. Okay? they, often, very often, take the house that the man bought and built. And, I don't know, man. I mean, suicide is just very, very common in high conflict divorce cases. It's just common. And this guy is saying, like, and it was obviously a high conflict. I mean, everybody in the meeting was like, oh no, this guy. And here's the thing, is while this guy is talking, okay, now what he said was, let me finish what he said. What he said was that, despite all that happened with his wife and, everything, and he doesn't see eye to eye with her, these are fucking, like, we're talking smoke signals and sign language here for what really happened. What really happened is she filed divorce against him. She's totally fucking nuts. She took all his money. She abused him and his child and fucked over his whole life. And now she needs help moving. She called him because she needed help moving. And he has a truck. And you know what he did? He helped her. He moved her in his truck. Why? Because he wants to give back. And get this. Here's what he said. He said, this 12-step meeting, I don't want to say the name, but he said, it really helped me. And this is what I got out of it. He said, now, even if somebody fucks me over, I can help them out because I'm such a big person. Listen, you guys, helping out an evil person who steals your money, kidnaps your child, takes your house, is not a sign. It's not a sign of benevolence. It's not. That's not benevolence. Dude, benevolence is what I'm talking about with Unblackmailable. The reason why you want to be unblackmailable is not so that you can be cold and cunning and take everything from people and not commit anything or give anything to anybody. It's so that you don't give your hard-earned money, your valuable time, your energy, your focus, your attention, your life, the days on this planet. Look at this beautiful day. A day like today, you give this day to talk to some total bitch who does not have your best intentions at heart. In fact, wants to tear you down. And you give the time to that person, okay, while you fucking ignore all these other good people around you, right? There's good fucking people around you. And you're giving your time and energy to some total scumbag. That's not benevolence. That's lack of priorities. That's weakness. That's stupidity. That is a travesty. It is a travesty. Why? Why is it such a travesty? The reason why it's such a travesty, okay, is that guy treats an evil person, a terrible person, better than he treats good people. Because I guarantee in that meeting, it was a big meeting, somebody needed to move. There was like 100 people there. Somebody needed to move in that place. He was not volunteering his truck to help that guy. It was a men's meeting. And he was not out there helping that guy. Who is he helping? He was helping the person who totally ruined his life and did not care and did not apologize. So that is what men's groups are doing now. They're telling you, like in the old days, it made sense, men's groups. They did. They were like, hey man, you got to man up, you got to toughen up, toughen up. And let's face it, men need to be toughened up. When you're a kid, you're born, you are very soft. It takes life to beat you up. It takes real experience. It takes discipline to accomplish goals. It is very difficult for a man to reach his potential. It takes enormous, rising to the challenge a million times over and over and over. And you need a situation where you're forced to do it because men just don't do this on their own. You need to be forced to. There are a million times in my life when I was forced to do something and I had to do it and I did it. And that's what made me the man I am today. So if I was just, Ronin could just by himself, just all the time rise to the challenge. No, a lot of times I needed to. I didn't have a choice. Okay, I moved to America a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, to fight a court case, and I had to. And I had to because I love my daughter. Now, I lost that court case. It was a very fucked up, dishonest court case. I don't want to talk about it. I do not want to talk about it, okay? So don't put it in the comments. I don't want any sympathy. I'm not looking for anything right now. I just want to say what I said. But the thing is along with, okay, I had to come here and fight this because just simply because of me, because I love my daughter. That's the reason. And you know what I did? I did it. I did everything I could do. And that's what I do as a man. You can't, if there's an earthquake, you cannot grab with your hands the tectonic plates and hold them together. You can't do it. It's not possible, okay? But especially in a situation with a child that you love, you have to try. You just have to. It's just the way it is, man. Anybody has a kid, you know, you're a normal person with empathy and love and an adult-child bond with your child. You fucking just have to. The father-child bond is incredible. This is bullshit about this mother-child bond bullshit. Dude, fathers are fucking amazing. And it is just time to fucking put that to rest. That's like saying, okay, there's two fucking mosquitoes and one has so much more empathy than the other mosquito. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. It doesn't work with mosquitoes. Doesn't work with dogs. It doesn't work with bears. It's just bullshit, okay? It is just bullshit. And especially in the case of the most intelligent creatures, which is humans. This crap that we're like under animals and all this crap is bullshit, dude. We're the leaders, man. We took over the world. You know, humans are amazing, okay? And fathers are humans, okay? Just in case, you know, people weren't aware of that. And they're amazing. And we love our kids, and we gotta do, even if it's a suicide mission. You watch those movies, you know, the family movies, you know, they always got the father. He's going to do it for his daughter. He's going to do it for his son. He's save the world or whatever, you know. That's the way it is, man. Men have always been like that. Men will sacrifice their body and their life. And women generally will not. They have a different way of showing their love. Equally as valuable. Like I said, fathers and mothers have an instinct. We have a bond with our kids. And I needed to come to America. I needed to fight the impossible fight. I had to give it everything I had. Everything on the table. And I did. And that's why I came back. Okay? And now that's over. And I am free. I am totally free. I did what I needed to do as a man. And what can I do now? So, like the thing is, and here's the thing. I came back, and coming back was pretty fucking cool because what was amazing was, I came back and what I learned, which is something I didn't expect, is that so many people love me. So many people came and supported me. So many people helped me out. I stayed at so many guys' houses. So many guys listened to me talk. So many guys listened to me brainstorm ideas for motions and fucking, responses to motions and, the basic court case crap. And just like heard me talk and listen. And we were looking up laws and they were like, you can stay at my place. And everybody's like, you're thinking about a court case. It's not fun, right? But when you're in the middle of the fight of your life, it's like a fucking cornered animal. You just got to do it, You just got to do it. And I ran into the danger. I could have left. I didn't have to even fight this case. Can't tell you the details of the case, but I can tell you this. I could have walked away with no pain at all. It would have been legally, I would have been totally fine. Just could have walked away. It wasn't a custody case, just so you guys know. Custody case you can't walk away from because you're always going to get nailed afterwards. This was the type of case I could have just fucking walked away. Period. Gone. With no responsibilities. And I'm like, nope. I ain't walking away. You know why? Because that's bullshit. Because I love my daughter. And I'm fighting with everything I got. And fuck anybody who doesn't understand that. And anyway, so that was it. That was my goal, and that's what I did. And I came back to America. I had to come back here to do that. Guess what happened since I've been here? It's been wonderful. I've made so many new friends. I've seen so much. I don't know how many states I've been to, probably 30 states. And I went to everywhere from North Carolina to all over the U.S. Drove all over the place. Ray drove me around. Chime time. I mean, I can just name my friend Jamie. I mean, how many people were there for me? Like, really, seriously, it was totally amazing. It was totally amazing. Dude, it's a beautiful day down here, man. It's so nice. Sun's coming out, getting nice and warm. But, I could just, there's like 100 guys that were on the top of my list of giving a fuck, of being there for me. And, I didn't really know that. When I came back to the States, I was feeling like I was up against, I was in a situation where it was all like impossible. I didn't have a house in America. I didn't have, I had never been to court before. I was fighting the case by myself without a lawyer. I didn't know about the law. I don't care anything about the law. I'm not interested in the law. I've never sued anybody. No one's ever sued me. It was just like, I was completely out of my element. I mean, completely. This was a fight it was so brutal because I came back. I didn't have any stability in the States. I'd never lived here since 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Even when I was here 30 years ago, I was here. But I mean, of course, when you're a kid, you live with your parents and you always have a connection with your parents when you're young, And then I took off back in the 80s, went overseas. So I didn't have I didn't have like a house and a truck and, an established social network. I didn't have, not on top of the fact that I didn't have the legal experience and, all the kind of things that you need that didn't have a lawyer, And there's very good reasons for everything that I'm saying here, but I can't go into details. I won't go into details. But here's what I got out of it. The reason why I'm saying this is because the court case, essentially my daughter, fighting for my daughter, is what dragged me into this situation and my love for her. And what happened was the world opened up. I mean, the world opened up. It was like love and caring was showered on me by people, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I can't really put any other words to it. It's just like fucking absolutely astonishing how many people were there for me, how many people were listening, and how much people cared. That was fucking amazing. That was mind-boggling for me. I'm serious because you get tired. You keep working on something and you're losing. Like I said, it was a totally hopeless case. It was a hopeless battle. It was like going up against 1,000 people that you just know you can't win. But I just had to do it. And people were like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, I have to. I just have to. They're like, well, you can't win. I'm like, yeah, well, that doesn't matter. Well, you're going to have severe penalties for fighting this. This is going to be really painful. You're going to lose. It's going to be expensive. You might end up with, insane bills until she's 18 and never meet her anyway. You won't be a part of her life. You won't be able to influence her. You won't be able to be the father you want to be. You're not going to get any of that. So why are you fighting this? I'm like, I just fucking have to. I have to. And I am. And just get the fuck out of my way. Either help me or get the fuck out of my way because I am going to do this thing. And I did. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy that I did that. Because in life, there's these moments where you have to do what you have to do. That's the reason why. That's the reason why you're unblackmailable. Is because when the time comes, okay, when you really want to do something, is that you can do it. Because you're not wasting your time. You're not wasting your energy. You're not focused on all this bullshit that just traps you into like being a slave. You're free. You're free and you can focus your energy on that thing that matters. Because in life, some shit really matters. and you want to have the energy, you know? It's kind of like if you stay up all night just watching some stupid TV show, and then, you know, you don't wake up in the morning, you don't have the energy to go work, you know, then you get sick, and then you know, it's just one, you know, playing video games, whatever, you just one more bullshit out the other, and the next thing you know, you can't do the things that you need to do, that you want to do, because you wasted your energy and time on a meaningless thing, right? That's what being unblackmailable is all about. It's not about being the guy in the cabin that nobody can touch, and he's, you know, bulletproof, and he, you know, isolates himself from everything, and he doesn't care. And no, it's not that at all. It's the opposite. It's love, man. It's saving your energy. So when you got to throw that punch, you can do it you can really do it because you got the energy. And also, I think there's a fucking spiritual thing at work here, is when you really have a shitty life and waste your energy on bullshit, you just don't have it in you, because you kind of know that you're just kind of doing everything wrong. Everything's kind of going in the wrong direction. And then it's just like, how am I going to fight this battle when it's really a battle of good and evil? You know, that's what it was for me. And it's like, I was like, I'm up for this because I got nothing to hide, because I am who I am, and I give a fuck about this. And I don't care if anybody understands me. I'm going to do this thing. One of the few guys who really understood me was my brother. He knows me. He knows I'm a super serious guy. And when I'm going to do something, I'm just going to fucking do it. And he's like, yep. He's like, yep, Paul's going to do this, and he's going to do it. And then everybody else is like, no, he'll give up. Nah, he's going to, yeah, it's going to. He's like, nope. From the beginning, like, because he knows me, right? And you guys know me. A lot of you guys know me, you know? And thing is that I do what I want to do. I do what's important to me, right? Not the thing that I should do, not the thing that society tells me to do, not the thing that your neighbors force you to do, they shame you for not doing, not the thing that you're working at a corporation and you have to do it because of some stupid law that you don't even agree with. None of that stuff. It's because I believe in it, right? I have the energy to fight. At 56 years old, I have the energy to live on the road, to fight a court case that was brutal. Every day was brutal. I mean, my heart would just, the palpitations when I would get like an email talking about the different, like, just legal bullshit and the new, I mean, there were so many emotions in this case, you guys would be blown away. I don't know how many there was. It was a year and a half. There was a lot, dude. It was a fucking involved case. I had a friend look at it, you know, and he's a corporate lawyer. He's like, dude, honestly, your case is more complicated than the tobacco case I used to work on. He's like, this is more complicated than a tobacco lawsuit. He's like, there are so many moving parts in this case. And I had the energy. It was very early, because the thing is, when you're in the middle of these things, you're just being torn apart. It's not just the energy. It's like, you got to have the energy to somehow stand up again and live another day, on top of the fact that you got to fight this legal thing, just totally dishonest. And at the same time as you know your own child is being abused by this situation, totally, absolutely, with unabatedly, just totally, the worst thing is for the child. The absolute worst thing. For me, it's fine. I can handle anything. But the last thing I want is my daughter to go through something like this and to not know. It's incredibly sad. It's incredibly difficult to deal with. It's like you need every ounce of energy you have and positivity and optimism to just get up in the morning. Really, seriously. And then when you get up, you just get hit with a million punches and scary ones. Oh, there were some scary ones. Some point I might talk about it. You guys are going to be like, this is not a normal case I went through. It is not a normal case at all. Very unusual case. This is not a Me Too case. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, I went through that. Trust me, I haven't given you the details, but if you'd hear the details, you'd be like, holy fuck. No, this was amazing. And it was like, I am amazed at myself that I lived through this thing, that I made it, that I did what I said I was going to do, that I wanted to do, that I knew I had to do. My destiny, right? But Now that's over. I've done what I can do. I did everything I could do. And I'm here. And I tell you, there is a peace in me that's just amazing right now. There's a peace. Because I know nobody can take it away. Nobody can take it away. I know why I did it. You know? And that's the thing with you. You know why you do things. Everybody else might not understand. You don't have time to explain it to people. You know, I don't have time to explain it to you right now. But there is shit in life that you just give a fuck about, and that's it. You just do. And you're gonna do it. And that's why you save the energy. That's why you save the time. That's why you save the money for that fight of your life. So that you got the energy to do those things that really matter. Not because people say. Not because society, not because pressure, not because it's easy, not because it's going to be profitable. That's for sure. You know, not because there's like any benefit that people are like, oh yeah, here's the benefit. It's just as a man, you have a destiny. There's shit that you just have to do, and you're going to do it. And I'll tell you something, the saddest guys are the guys who don't do this shit. Those are the fucking broken men. And you can have sympathy on them, okay, if you want, but I'll tell you something. Be careful with that one, because a lot of times, dude, guys are broken because they didn't do it, okay? And that was their choice. That was, at the end of the day, women can do whatever they want to do. Society can do what they want to do. The courts can do what they want to do. But the thing that really breaks a man is himself, is when he does not rise. He does not fulfill the thing he needs to do. And you see it around you. Look around at broken old men. They'll tell you stories of what happened, losing a business, blah, 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 blah. But I will tell you this, that at the end of the day, and this is a truth and a warning, is that you have to fulfill your destiny. You have to do these things, whatever it is for you. And each man has his own great journey in life. Life is not a fucking practice. It's serious. Everybody that thinks it's some kind of fucking joke out there, they're out of their minds. These are the losers of this world. And this channel is not for those guys. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to go into too many details. There's something inside you. You know. You get out there. Life is short. Do that thing that you have to do. Do not fuck around. You know? Do not fuck around. Life just passes you by. I remember, just seems like the other day, I went to Thailand. I got my first retirement visa. Now I'm talking about getting a new one. And I was 50 years old. And I remember thinking, you know, oh man, I'm so young, because I look so young compared to everybody there. And you know, that was 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago. It'll be 7 years ago in January. You know, it just seems like yesterday. I was standing there trying to get my visa. I was trying to get into the retirement thing. And the lady's like, she had her fingers crossed, you know, and she goes, no. And she goes, 50, you know, and I'm like, I'm 50. She goes, no. She wasn't listening. She goes, 50. Because she saw how young I look. She's like, 50. No, 50. She thought I was a tourist, right? And I was like, no, I'm 50. And I finally showed her my passport. She's like, she started laughing. She was like, oh, you're 50. Oh my gosh. And she's like, okay, come on in. You know, and she gave me my visa, you know. That seems like yesterday, you know. But man, I have been through so much in this last 7 years. You know, I have been through so much. I had just turned 50, like literally. And I'll turn 50 in January, a couple months. You know, so that's 7 years ago, dude. And I have matured as a man. So when you think that your life is over, when you think you're done growing because you're in your 50s or some shit, I will tell you, that's a choice. That's a choice. And that is a choice I would not fucking take. And for you guys that are still in marriages that suck, okay, you can try to save the world. You can do whatever you want to do. But listen, man, I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, I am not telling you what your journey is. I'm not telling you what your, you know, I forget how to say it in French, but you know, that your reason for being, right? Your reason for being here. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you that part. But I can tell you this. is that you know, okay? You know what it is. And if you're not fulfilling that because of some bullshit reason, it's time to take that reason aside and say, you know what? Fucking Ronin's right. I got to do this thing, you know? And for you young guys, I just say a little warning. You're young, you're full of testosterone. You might think this is your journey or that's your journey or I got to do this. It's a difficult thing to find that, okay? Even me, I struggled. I was like, a lot of my friends were like, don't go to fight this court case. You're going to lose. It's going to cause you trouble. You're going to end up in misery for years. And you're not going to get what you want. You already love her. Everybody knows that. You don't have to prove it. It's inside you. Don't worry. And those were logical arguments, and they made sense. And those guys cared about me. There's no problem there. But the problem was inside me because it just didn't work with my logic. It didn't work with my feeling. I needed to fight the impossible battle. I needed to go into the lion's den, stick my head straight in the lion's mouth, and fight essentially a losing battle. I had to. For me. That's just the way it was for me. Everybody's got, that might sound dumb to you, but I'll tell you something. To me, it's beautiful. It is fucking beautiful. Because I'm me, man. And I know why I did things. Maybe I can't explain it that well. But we're talking about the very soul. The fucking soul. So be careful. If you think, oh yeah, he's talking about ego. He's talking about starting a company. I don't know. You know, I might be. I don't know. Depends on, you just be careful. Just be careful when you're deciding what your destiny is, right? Just really think, talk to your best friends, and always know that it might, even with your destiny, see, here's the thing, something that you don't really need, okay? Let's say that you think your destiny is to start a, whatever X company, right? And you're like, I know I have to do it. And you're so sure of yourself. That could almost be a sign that it's not your destiny. The reason why is because you're so sure of yourself. As a young man, just be wary of that kind of shit. That's all I can say. I can't give you the answers. And I know that's sounds contradictory, but your real destiny, your fucking real destiny is going to be complicated. You're going to be torn up about it. You're going to have mixed feelings. You're going to be like, one day you'll be this, next day you might be that. Isn't that strange? Your greatest destiny is that you just, because it's almost like your rational mind, your rational mind, it makes more sense. Let's say a friend fucks you over and then just don't make friends. Yeah. Oh yeah. No more friends. Yeah. They're going to fuck you over. Yeah. You lose your business. Oh, no more businesses. Yep. You have a bad holiday. Fuck holidays. I can just work. I can just do staycations, right? It's very easy in life to make a rule basically to learn too well. That's what it's called, is when you learn too well. Don't learn life's lessons too well. And the reason why you don't want to learn life's lessons too well is because you fight the last war. See, this is what happens. So in war, you have the Germans, you have the technology they have, you have the geography, and every general, every president, what they do, this is humans' problem, is they learn too well. They're like, oh yeah, we got to fight this kind of battle and that, we got to get ready for that. We need these kind of tanks. And the next battle is like an online, World War III is online. And you need servers and you need hackers, you know what I mean? It's totally different. And that's the problem, right? Is you're like, I learned my lessons so well. I will never do that again. I'll never do that. I'll close my heart to all those things. And that's not the answer sometimes. A lot of times it's not the answer. That's not the answer. If I could give you an ABC for what life is, I would. But I can't. That's why I give you so many contradictions. Because life is full of contradictions. And these guys online selling you the simple life, that this all you got to do is believe this. Just, and young guys believe it. Don't get me wrong, some very well-meaning guys. that'll say, just don't do this, don't do that, and then you're good. You can have the label of whatever it is that they are selling you. And then you're good because these are the rules and you follow the rules. And life is just not like that. Life changes. And you got to be flexible. You got to be ready. You got to be ready for your destiny, ready for real life. At the same time, you're exactly the same as those guys in many ways. And you have exact same beliefs, right? But don't be too rigid. Don't fight last war. Don't fight the last war in your mind. Be a man who can always look again. You want to really win this world. You want to win this fucking battle in life, right? You want to be a winner. Okay, you want to be a fucking winner? You got to think like I'm talking about. Doubt everything. Question that this war is going to be like the last for you. Okay? Question everything. Anytime you get one way of thinking, you know, the algorithm just gives you whatever you want, right? They just keep giving you the same shit over and over, right? And at some point, you got to get tired of it, man. Because what they're doing, see, here's the thing. You become your own worst enemy because they're feeding you what you want to hear. In some ways, that's great. I love the algorithm in many ways because I get, you know, like for example, the algorithm remembers where I am, tells me the weather. I search weather, it's going to find the weather in my area. I like that part of the algorithm. You know, I see let's say a fucking Japanese jazz group from the 70s and I watch that and then, you know, they recommend something else that's similar. That's awesome. I love that, you know? But I tell you what I don't like is that it kind of amplifies the human problem. And the human problem, especially for men, is that we get stuck on things and we learn too well. And then what happens is, you know, life passes you by. I got so many friends in their 50s, 60s that they really just don't get the modern business era. They're successful in business, don't get me wrong. You know, they've done well, but, you know, like the internet and online advertising and, you know, they're slowly becoming more irrelevant as life goes on. And that's just not where you want to be, man. You have the capacity as a man to rise to the challenge over and over and have a vibrant, interesting, exciting life where you're successful over and over and over again until the day you die. Don't be one of these guys just happy with the small things. Fuck that, man. Fuck, I was successful in high school. I was the college this, and I was the quarterback or whatever you were, you know, your jacket, you know. It's just one more of those things, man. That fragile, rigid life that most people create. It's like, hey, man, I look good on the outside. I got everything. My neighbors think I'm great. You know, some fucking people stay in marriages because someone of their friends say, you guys look so good together. And they're absolutely miserable. Their fucking life sucks. Okay? It sucks ass. And they're like, you look so good together. So they're going to stay in a miserable situation. They're going to stay where every day is subpar. Every day someone's holding them back. Every day they spend one more day in hell. And how long are you going to live? If you're 40 years old, hey man, health advances are coming fast. You could easily live to 90. So you're 40 years old and it's too hard to change, right? It's too hard, man. You're 40. You've been doing this for fucking 10 years. You can't change. It's too hard. You want 50 more years of this shit? I'll tell you, shit only gets worse. And the good stuff, like learning and growing, it doesn't really get better, but what it does is that it's awesome. It's like working out. You know, I went to the gym on Sunday and I hadn't been in a couple weeks because I don't have a membership here. And I worked my ass off. It felt so good. I was so sore. Like for like 3 days, I literally was a fucking basket case. And I'm not saying that that's better than when I was young. You know, like it was a better workout. It was better, but it was like I'm still relevant, man. That's what you want to be. You want to be still relevant. Where like you The good part of life, you're just lucky to still be in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still in the game. That's what you want. I'm still relevant. I'm learning. I'm in the game. You might not be as good a programmer as a young guy, but you know you're on the right track. You look around you, everyone's a fossil. Everyone's fossilized ideas. You know, whether they're successful or not, who gives a fuck? They're just waiting to die. That's what they're doing. They're just waiting to die. And fuck that life, man. Fuck that life. You look good on the outside. Nobody wants you to change because it makes you look inconsistent. You know, like me quitting the fucking Boy Scouts. You know, hey, you know what's going on inside yourself. Listen to yourself, man. You want to be vibrant. You want to travel. You want to see more of life. You want to fucking not be stuck, not be trapped. And you don't want to be that frozen guy with that leather jacket that he used to have in the high school with the fucking varsity letters on it and the same fucking motorcycle and the same rolled up fucking t-shirts. You see guys like this everywhere. It's not just their clothing, it's their whole fucking life. They're just stuck, man. They're just stuck. And when you ask them for solutions, they're just fighting the last war. I don't want that, man. I do not fucking want a life like that. Just because you wasted 10 years doesn't mean you should waste the next 50. At the same time as I warn you to be careful. Okay, don't move too quickly. I'm not saying rush out today, like, oh yeah, quit your job. You know, be wise. But when you have to, you drive the knife in of life. You drive the life in. You have no mercy. You go in, man. When it's time to make the surgery, to make the move, is you fucking do it. So it's not an excuse not to do anything. It's wisdom to wait until you're sure. And then you go, you jump all the way. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. I'm going to enjoy this fucking beautiful day. We're going to go down the coast. See, I forgot the name of the place we're going. It's got like a French name. It's supposed to be fucking gorgeous. Especially a day like today. This is insane. It's like 8 a.m. It's so beautiful, man. People are out swimming. Dude, this is awesome. Dude, this is awesome, man. You know, why am I here in Santa Cruz? It's because I fought that battle. It's because I did what I said. Why did I come back? Why did I learn why did I meet all these new people? Oh yeah, one last thing. I'm seriously thinking about going back overseas, and I want to do a summit before I go. So you guys that are interested in a Ronin Man summit, send me, don't add me on Telegram unless you want to go to the summit, okay? Or you're going to join Unblackmailable. Don't just add me, hey, how's it going, Ronin? No. And I appreciate that. If you have an idea for, like I say, a video idea, send it to my email, roninmctow@gmail.com. But if you're interested in going to another summit, I haven't talked to Mr. Smith in San Francisco, but I'm thinking to do another one in San Francisco because I'm here and I've been doing something here which will probably keep me here until I go. So I'm thinking one more San Francisco summit. I just want to know, are you guys up for it? And it would probably be soon, like a month from now. How does that sound? How many guys want to go? How many guys are committed to coming? Let me know. It's easy to travel now. Flights have gotten cheap because it's not summer anymore. It's not summertime, so you can fly. I think you can fly into America now from a lot of countries. As long as you're vaccinated, you can fly in and you can travel freely. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do one more summit in America. And I'm going to be on to new pastures. So let me know. Thanks for listening, guys. It's been a fucking pleasure to be with you guys this year. And I want to say an extra shout out to everybody that we hung out with this year. Everybody who hung out, put us up. Tyler in North Carolina, Steve in Virginia Beach. Steve was a stalwart, man. Every time we're coming to Virginia Beach, he's like, come on by, you know. And Virginia Beach is like the perfect stopping point from Florida, from down south. So we would always go there and hang out with Steve. He was such a great host. There were so many guys. I can't even. Ibrahim in New Mexico. Just guys all over fucking the place, man. Scott in Austin, Connor in Austin, Kenji in Austin. There was a crew from Austin. Oh, by the way, the crew from Austin right now is in Mexico having a great time. I just got a picture. A bunch of guys are down there, and they're having a good time. So when you go to a summit, you make friends, and often you make like lifelong friends. That's the experience that's happening so far. So there you go, guys. Thanks for listening, and thanks for being there.